Assalamualaikum, Dr. Azian. This time we are going to cover on chapter 4 and 5, which are the findings and conclusion based on our topic, which is Sociolinguistics analysis on the effects of emoji usage in women's interaction. Based on the findings, there are 12 emojis that are used by the participants in their conversations. Using peer-stridic model, the emojis are analyzed according to the referent, which is the symbol, representative, the sense made of the sign, and the interpretant, which is what the sign represents. The first emoji is the loudly crying face, which means that the sender is feeling really sad. The second emoji is the smiling face with heart eyes, which means that the sender is happy or in love. The next emoji is the grinning face with sweat, which can be interpreted as the sender is unsure about the situation. The fourth emoji is the red heart, which means lots of love. And the fifth emoji is the rolling on the floor laughing, which means that the sender is laughing really hard. These are other emojis that can be found in the conversations, which are the face with tears of joy, downcast face with sweat, face blowing a kiss, flexed biceps, sleepy face, thinking face, and grimacing face, which are interpreted as shown in the table. Next, the interactions between the participants in the WhatsApp group are analyzed based on home social dimension scale according to the 4 factors, which are the social distance scale, status scale, formality scale, and 2 functional scales. The first scale is concerned on the participant relationships. Either it is an intimate or distance relationship, and based on the example of the WhatsApp conversations, both emojis are used to show affection to people they care and have a close relationship with. The next one is also concerned on the participant relationships. Either it is a high status and low status, and based on the conversation between the participants, the use of nickname to address the participant shows that they belong to the same social status, and there is no need to use honorific address such as Madam or Miss. Formality scale is related to the setting or type of interaction, and from the conversation, the use of short forms such as P for pergi and AK for aku shows that their conversation is very informal, and the use of the pronouns indicate that they are very comfortable with one another and they do not have to use saya or awak, which are more formal. The last one is related to the information content and also affective content. From the conversations, the participants are gossiping about one of their batchmates who did not wear appropriately to the mosque. The conversation did not really talk about what actually happened, but rather to condemn the person's inappropriate action. These skills are associated with the purpose or topic of interaction, and the interaction between the participants have low information content but high affective content.
There are a few numbers of emojis that the participants often use to communicate in the group on WhatsApp Messenger. The researchers used Pearson's triadic model to identify the expressions of each emoji used by the participants, and the participants indirectly applied dynamic interpretant. In this study, it is shown that the emojis used by the participants were interpreted by the other participants in accordance to the communication to take place, and it resulting in a variety of emotions expressions for the emojis. According to the first element in home social dimension scale, each emojis used portrayed the intimate relationship among them. They use those particular emojis because they're already aware of the intimacy between them, and it is predictable what kind of expression they wanted to express behind those emojis. Next, for status scale, where they belong to the same status, they used friendly emojis as reference to support the expressions, which is the representative for the other participants to interpret the interpretant. For formality scale, which indicates the formality of the participants, show that they used emojis as reference to express emotions, which is known as representative and colloquial language to communicate as they're not in an informal setting. And lastly, according to functional scale, the participants' conversations is low information content but high effective content, as they had a casual conversation all the time, gossiping. Hence, they used a loudly crying face to express their thoughts. As well as resentment about the gossip, so the other participants will interpret. Also, it is related to gender identity on how women express their emotions by using emojis. According to Tender 1990, women talk to support their ideas and to gain approval. With the use of emojis, their ideas or statement will be expressed and then supported by the other participants. Next, women's speech is indirect and reticent. Due to that matter, the participants used emojis to make it more direct and more assertive to avoid miscommunication. And women are also expressive in expressing emotions and open about their feelings. Thus, they express their emotions among the other participants so that they can share their thoughts and feelings with the support of emojis to make the statement of the support clearer, and it will be easier to interpret by the other participants. For the next chapter, chapter 5, which is conclusion, the summary of this study is the findings of the study revealed that women used emojis to express different emotions besides the use of emojis for different purposes of interactions. And there are a few types of emojis that have been discussed throughout this study, and the participants used almost the same frequency of emojis to express their emotions, which are 12 altogether. And the last one, researchers used Peirce's triadic model to explore about the use of emojis in the conversation and social dimension scale by Holmes to measure the relationship among participants and the researchers. Lastly, relate these two models up to answer the research questions. For the implications of this study, the study has been shown to have implications for individuals, especially women, in order to understand different kind of emoji usage towards the expressions of emotion. Thus, it is easier to understand online communication among female users. Next, this study is beneficial to explore the different emoji usage that affect the purpose of women's interaction in expressing emotions to avoid misinterpretations. And for the recommendations, future studies should be focusing on a larger group of participants and explore women's interaction in expressing emotion used by participants with different ethnic group or culture in the same group on WhatsApp Messenger or any other social media. Lastly, it can be concluded that there are a number of different emojis used in women's interaction to express emotions. The participants use the emojis to express their emotions and to convey the message effectively. Also, the emojis usage affects the purpose of women's interaction in expressing emotions, and women's interaction is affected by gender identity. That's all from us. Thank you very much.